Okay, welcome back everyone to the deep dive. Get ready. Today we're diving deep into some really interesting source material. It tackles something, well, pretty fundamental to how we live our lives, day in, day out.
Uh-huh.
We're looking at excerpts from episode 9 of a show called Tai P English.
Right.
And their focus in this one, it's all about daily routines.
Yeah, the rhythm of everyday life.
Exactly. And our mission today really is to unpack what this source tells us about creating a powerful daily routine, but also, crucially, equipping you with the language to actually talk about it in English.
So it's twofold, the habit and the words for it.
Precisely. It's not just, memorizing phrases.
Yeah.
It's about getting the why behind a strong routine and seeing how using English to describe yours might even help you build it.
That's a great angle.
Okay, let's unpack this then.
Well, what's fascinating right off the bat is that the source gets straight to this core idea. Your routine isn't just a list of things you do.
Okay.
They frame it as like the fundamental structure that shapes your day. And, how you spend your days, well, that ultimately shapes your whole life. It positions routine as this really powerful lever for change.
That's a big connection. Linking those tiny daily actions to your entire life's direction.
It is.
And the source promises some pretty significant returns, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Feeling more productive, more positive, more peaceful even.
Yeah, those are the payoffs mentioned.
And it suggests the path there is through intentionally changing your habits.
Yeah.
It's basically saying, look, if you want a different outcome in life, you got to look at the small stuff you repeat every single day.
Exactly. It shifts the focus away from just wishing for different results,
Right.
and towards actively building the process that leads to those results.
Okay.
And to make this really concrete, the source then walks us through a sample. They call it a powerful routine.
Right, like a template for a whole day, laid out from morning till night.
Uh-huh.
So the sample routine, it kicks off bright and early, waking up at 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Then immediately freshening up, brushing teeth, and drinking a glass of warm water.
Simple foundational steps. Hydration, bit of personal care first thing.
Yeah, sort of preparing the body.
Right. Then it brings in movement, a 30-minute walk or a yoga session.
So there's flexibility already. It's not rigid.
Not completely, no. Walk or yoga.
Okay. After that physical bit, it's back to cleansing and fueling. So
Right.
a shower followed by a healthy breakfast.
Notice the sequence there. Physical effort, then cleaning up, then nourishment. It flows.
Yeah, does make sense.
Then around 8 a.m., there's this dedicated 20-minute reading block.
Right, and they even give an example, don't they? Reading The Power of Now.
They do, but what's really significant is the reason they give for it.
Okay.
To improve focus and also to make sure you're learning something new every single day.
So it's not just reading for pleasure. It's like a mental workout.
Exactly. Directed mental exercise. That intention seems key.
Okay, so mind and body are prepped. By 9 a.m., this sample person is ready for the main work block, which involves the usual stuff. Checking emails, attending meetings, completing tasks.
So this is like the core productive part of the day, clearly defined.
And there's a break noted, too. Lunch at 1 p.m.
Sensible. Breaks up that longer work period.
And they keep going with work until 6 p.m. So it's a pretty solid chunk of focused work time.
It is. But then another interesting bit, a transition activity. A short walk or some stretching after work.
Okay. So not just stopping cold, but actively shifting gears.
Right. Moving the body again, which, can help de-stress, create a bit of separation between work mode and personal time.
I like that idea. A buffer.
Yeah. Then the evening activities, it suggests connecting with family or maybe just relaxing with some music. Again, a choice.
Family or music. Okay. Dinner's penciled in for 8 p.m.
Followed by, this is neat, a return to quiet time, reading again, or maybe writing in a journal.
Oh, like mirroring the morning reading.
Exactly. Creates this nice symmetry, a consistent investment in yourself throughout the day.
And the day wraps up by heading to bed at 10:30 p.m., ready for the next one.
So if we kind of zoom out on this whole sample,
Yeah.
what really stands out is how deliberately time is allocated, not just for work, right?
Right.
But for physical health, that mental engagement with reading, personal connection or relaxation, and even those little transition times. It balances the structure, like work times, reading times with choice, like the walk or yoga, family, or music thing.
Yeah.
It's presented almost like a blueprint for designing a day intentionally. A day that supports energy, learning, and that peaceful feeling they mentioned earlier, directly linking the actions to the outcomes.
It's definitely more than just a rigid schedule. It feels like a framework built on, like, principles.
Well put.
And crucially, the source then bridges this perfectly by giving us the actual language to talk about it all.
Yes. Key English phrases tied directly to these daily actions.
These are super practical, like building blocks you can use straight away.
Yeah.
The source lists things like, I wake up at.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Huh.
I start my day with. I do yoga, go for a walk, exercise.
Yeah.
I read for 20 minutes.
Yeah, covering those key morning activities.
Then for work, I attend meetings, check emails, I take a lunch break.
Standard work phrases.
And evening,
Yeah.
I relax, unwind in the evening. And finally, I go to bed at.
These phrases are great because they sort of encapsulate the core actions of a routine in simple, repeatable ways.
Right.
And the source suggests taking these, maybe combining, say, 5 or 6 of them to describe your own day.
So personalizing it.
Exactly. It's not just learning words in isolation. It's learning how to put them into your story, your personal narrative.
Making it about you.
Okay.
And the practice technique they suggest is pretty straightforward, but sounds effective. Just speak these sentences out loud.
Yes.
And they emphasize doing it even if it feels a bit awkward or, not perfect at first. Why is saying it out loud so important, do you think?
Well, speaking it aloud, it takes the language from just being an idea in your head, intellectual understanding, to being a physical action. It actually engages different parts of your brain. It helps with pronunciation, obviously.
Right.
And maybe most importantly, it just makes the language feel more real, more connected to your actual life.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about your routine in English, you're kind of solidifying both the language and the routine in your mind at the same time.
That makes a lot of sense. The language itself becomes part of building the habit.
It can, yeah.
And the source ties this all together with something called a challenge of the day.
Ah, yes, the challenge. It's kind of twofold.
Okay.
First, you identify one new habit you want to add to your routine, just one.
Right. Start small.
And second, you express that intention in English.
So it forces you to actually articulate your goal using the language you're trying to improve in. Clever.
It is.
The examples they give are simple but clear, like, I want to wake up early, or I want to read for 10 minutes daily. Maybe I want to exercise every morning.
Basic but powerful intentions.
And the source points out that sharing your goal can boost motivation. Why do you think articulating it and maybe sharing it makes such a difference?
Well, articulating a goal, just saying it.
Yeah.
It makes it more concrete in your own mind, doesn't it?
Yeah, less fuzzy.
It goes from being this vague wish to a specific intention you can actually verbalize. And sharing it, even just telling one person or writing it down where you see it, it adds this little layer of accountability, maybe taps into some social support. It makes you a bit more likely to actually follow through.
Okay.
It's like the first step in turning an idea into a reality. And doing it in English makes that reality kind of dual layered. You've got the personal growth from the habit and the language growth happening right alongside it.
That's a really smart way to weave those two goals together.
It is.
And the source wraps up with a pretty strong motivational message, doesn't it? Reinforcing that routine is way more than just, managing your time.
Much more, yeah.
It's about directing your energy, nurturing your dreams, building your future, all that big picture stuff.
And it gives you permission to start small, which is huge.
Right. Emphasizing that even just one positive change can start a ripple effect.
Starting small is so critical for habits, isn't it? It just lowers that barrier to getting started, makes consistency feel more achievable.
Yeah, less daunting.
Which in turn builds momentum, builds confidence. And as the source puts it quite nicely, I think, as you work on changing your life through your routine, you can also change your language by starting to speak about that process in English every day.
A virtuous cycle.
Exactly.
So what we've really pulled from this source today is, well, first, a powerful argument for why you'd want an intentional daily routine.
Right, the why.
Then, a concrete example of what one might actually look like, step by step.
The what's.
And finally, a set of really practical language tools, those phrases, to not only describe your routine, but maybe even use the language as a tool to help reinforce the habits you want to build.
The how, both for the routine and the language.
Yeah. And the source even gives us a little peek ahead, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mentioning the next topic is learning how to ask and answer questions about time in English.
Perfect timing.
Using phrases like, what time do you, and when does it start? Seems like a logical next step after mastering describing your own schedule.
Absolutely. So if we take this idea seriously, that Your daily routine is maybe the foundation for your energy, your dreams, your future.
Mm-hmm.
And if using language really is a powerful way to solidify thoughts and habits, then maybe consider this. What's the single smallest action you could realistically add to your routine starting today?
Okay.
And what's the one simple English phrase that describes that action? Just thinking about how articulating that tiny step, both in what you do and what you say, how might that be the beginning of something pretty significant for both your personal growth and, well, your fluency? It raises an important question.